Good morning, everyone. My name is Rachel Kovac, and I'm really glad to be discussing St. Thomas Aquinas with you this week. It's been a really amazing 8 weeks, and now that we're here, we get to just wrap it up. I chose St. Thomas Aquinas because he delves into two split intelligences between supernatural, which is the spiritual development, and the natural orders, which was focused on reality. And what's funny is I feel like I kind of parallel that in my personal life this year. I teach at Cuesta College with adults with disabilities, and I'm also the youth minister for high school teenagers at St. Patrick's Catholic Church. And so a lot of what I've been doing this semester is balancing information and presenting it in both realms. So his entire theory of Thomism stuck with me for the past 8 weeks, which is why I chose him. So here's a little more information. He was a very nerdy guy. He was a lifelong academic, started at seminary at 14 years old, and became a Dominican friar. He taught at the University of Paris and then continued to share his knowledge through Western Europe, particularly in Italy. He was a gatherer of information. As you can see in the little portrait they made of him, he's carrying a textbook. And the reason being is he is the father of the textbook system we had today. He had the thought that we needed to synthesize our information into one cohesive place so that future learners can reference it. And so he started that system at the University of Paris. Um, more more intellectually contributing to education, he developed Thomism, which is also known as theological realism. He had the belief from the Roman Catholic faith that all things begin and end with God. He also then realized, though, that all the information we intake can go into two different things. It can go into our spiritual development, which focuses on our morality and our way to getting to heaven, but then there's also natural orders, the way we see and perceive the world. During the medieval era, science was not yet this powerful source of information that we have now. And so his way of starting to understand scientific concepts came through this natural order discovery. He then was able to make 5 cosmological arguments for the existence of God. One of the 5 are motion, causation, contingency, degrees, and theology. The one that struck me the most was degrees, and I kind of saw this with the way I learn myself. The cosmological argument for degrees is that everything has a ranking order and a placement. And the way, and at the time I'm like, oh no, that seems really silly. But then I thought of the silly game of Degrees to Kevin Bacon that I used to play as a kid, and how every celebrity can attach to degrees. And it is in the same with education, being able to that everything has a source and a beginning and has a degree and a level of intensity, and that is what St. Thomas Aquinas meant by that. To close off my presentation with you, I'm going to use a quote that he's very famous for. It says, "Beware the person with one book." And as lifelong learners, we're going to be challenged in this doctorate program to read a lot of different information about wonderful people and discoveries. So I look forward to learning with all of you, and I thank you for this time.